Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fun-filled episode of Fangirls Assemble. Today, we're going to be talking about random stuff, but as we always do. But before we get going, we want to give a quick shout-out to our sponsor, InStockTrades.com. Maddie, Kristen, what can people buy in InStockTrades.com?
You can buy comics, collected editions,
everything you've ever wanted.
42% off, sometimes more. And also you can get damaged sales, which are usually in pristine condition. I've never had a problem. And if you spend at least $50, free shipping. What?
And what kind of books people can buy there? Like, what have you recently bought from there?
Ooh.
Oh, man.
We're all looking around.
Yeah, I'm like, what books do I have?
Well, on Tuesday, I'm looking forward to the new Buffy Season 10 Library Edition. The final volume from Dark Horse is coming out, so get that, sell out, and be gone forever, and you'll cry, so you should buy it.
Yeah. And what else is happening? Is there a Fangirl special book?
There is.
Yes.
And do announce what that is.
Only my favorite comic of all time, Giant Days. Hardcover edition, volume 1. It's going to be 50% off. And, Boom, it's around like 30% off. So you're getting a really great deal. If you haven't jumped in the Giant Days, you have to. So you should buy it.
Yeah, this is the hardcover edition that's called Not on the Test Edition, Volume 1, that will be brought to you at 50% discount starting this Tuesday for a week, thanks to us, the Fangirls Assemble, and you get to so go ahead and buy it and be like, we love Giant Days around here. Maddie still haven't read it.
I read the first volume. Okay.
Counts.
Okay. We'll forgive you for that. But but this is actually our scheme to get Maddie.
I even owned it. I forgot.
Oh, look at that.
Well, now you have to own the hardcover, too. It's too bad.
So
I'll give this to my niece.
Perfect.
Ooh,
it's perfect.
So, because this is our scheme to get Maddie readings for Giant Days, and we thought that what better ways to do it than do a 50% discount on it. And this will be running from 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from this Tuesday, which is 20th, and it will run until 2:59 p.m. EST the following Tuesday. So do run out there and go get it. And we may have some giveaway on this, but we still haven't kind of gotten a full details on it, but stay tuned, and in a couple of episodes we may announce that. But yes, so Fangirls November pick of the week, it's a little delayed, but we wanted to kind of hash out and find the right best deal for you, will be Giant Days Not on the Test Edition Volume 1, so stay tuned for that. With that out of the way, Kristen, how is married life?
It's wonderful. I'm happy to be back from my honeymoon and vacation, because if you guys have been to Atlanta, but I was only there one night and it drove me crazy. And apparently we keep going back. It's like my third time we've been to Atlanta, and it was too much, guys. I can't handle the traffic. It was too much. So I'm happy to be back.
So where in Atlanta you went to?
We stopped in Atlanta to see the Conan O'Brien stand-up tour, which was fantastic. We had second row seats. Yeah, he was hilarious, of course, always.
Did you get a girl fired because you sent us a very interesting message? I'm like, what the hell?
I should do some digging on Twitter and try to find that girl and see what happened. But basically, the last 30 minutes or so, he took questions from the audience. And one of the girls in the audience was like, "Hi, I'm a millennial, and my manager micromanages me. So what do I do about that? How do I deal with micromanager managers?" And he's like, "What? Why are you asking me this? Come down here."
Okay.
Pick up your phone, call him, right? So she calls her manager, and he doesn't answer because it's late. And he leaves a message, and it was really, really funny. But he was like, "You need to get off her back," and joking around. And then at the end, he was like, "Well, don't hate me, and also don't fire her. Okay, bye."
That girl is so fired.
Yeah,
that's the end.
I think so. Yeah. Also, people could have been in there who knew that guy. And would tell him the whole story. She was complaining about you.
I don't know. I mean, it's just something that's kind of very weird. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know that my boss has a nice sense of humor. So there was this, like, the whole Fariha is a bully gate that happened in the group. So I went to my boss. I'm like, someone just said I'm a bully. And then my boss is like, yeah, I know. You bully me all the time. So he's like, what? I would not know that about you. And I'm like, you need to work on your sarcasm. So, yeah, so I know that mine had a little bit of sense of humor, but even then, that's just weird.
Oh my gosh. I would never do that in front of people, knowing that could happen. Like, what did she expect with that question?
I'd be scared to death. I don't think my boss would find it funny at all. She'd be terrified. She'd be very upset.
If anyone did that to me, I would not find that funny. I'd be like, oh, yeah, I love Conan, but, like, you were complaining about me? Like, what?
Yeah. So awkward. Anyway, well, what else you saw? Because I know that you've gotten some good deals.
I did. So apparently there are like 5 or 6 Second and Charles throughout Georgia. So on our way back from Savannah, we kind of went like a curvy, weird way and just hit them all up. Except for like one that was way out of the way. We're like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So on the back to Atlanta, we like went to all of them. Which I found out we're getting to Second Charles in Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm so excited. When you sent that message, I couldn't believe it.
Clearly, we're going to meet up there. That's going to be great. We'll have a meetup in nowhere, Kentucky. It'll be great.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Tyler Trent can come, right? He's in Kentucky, isn't he?
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. You guys can do that. Whatever. Okay, get to the talk.
Like, no. Okay, I'll show you what I got. Let's see. Actually, this is probably my favorite thing I got, and it was actually half-price books. So that doesn't kind of counts. We went to those too.
Well, of course.
But, so everybody knows my favorite manga of all time is Monster.
Yeah.
So the author of that, Naoki Urasawa, wrote Pluto.
Did you get all of Pluto?
Got all of Pluto for
God.
half off, and it looks like someone just like maybe touched it once or didn't even read it. I don't know. They're in really nice condition. So Reed and I were like, we're gonna get all of Pluto. So we got all of Pluto, and I'm stoked because I've never read it. I'm so excited.
I haven't either.
It's probably amazing.
So it was truly half price off?
Yeah. That's how that works. It doesn't always.
No.
I know it doesn't always work like that.
Yeah, no. Trust me, half price book has its moment. So okay, so great.
I know Freya hates manga, but I mean, come on, look at this art. Like, he's amazing. Come on.
I just
you don't
give a shit about it.
No, there you go.
We need to do a show just for him because if you read Monster changes everything for everyone.
It'll change your life.
It's amazing.
It is so good.
So what's Pluto about?
Pluto is his like retelling of Astro Boy, the classic series Astro Boy, which I also haven't read, so I really can't tell you what it's about, but I'll read anything that he does.
Okay.
Astro Boy's that kid who's a robot. It's like Pinocchio, but he's a robot kid.
Yeah, that's
right?
a good way. I think.
Man,
I'm like,
I should know. I'm a Japanese major. There's no excuse not to know what Astro Boy is.
I did not know Astro Boy was a Japanese import. Huh. Yep. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What else you got?
Let's see. I'll get through this other manga that you don't care about. So we also hit up this great like not half off the used bookstore that we love in Chattanooga on the way home. And I've been like, I don't care for sports at all, but I love sports manga. So I've had my eye on Cross Game for a while.
Oh, nice.
Which is like a little slice of life with like baseball. And I don't know, again, don't care for sports, love sports manga. So I'm excited.
All right, quick question.
Yeah.
Have you ever read I Shield 21? Because that's my favorite one.
I haven't, but that's football, right?
Yes, and I don't like football.
I'm going to write it down.
Love I Shield 21. I always sing the opening theme at karaoke. All right, continue.
I love Slam Dunk, though. I did read that.
I love Slam Dunk. Well, he's got the pompadour.
Yeah.
I haven't talked about my pompadour obsession on the show yet, but I have a pompadour fetish.
I love that. Love it.
Seriously.
Okay, so in Savannah, I saw the cover of this book called Cat Person, and I was like, well, I have to get that.
Yeah.
I know, right? And I read it, and like one night it was really fast. And it's basically just, it reminds me of Sarah Scribbles. You know, it's little life stories that it's like nonfiction, little life stories, really cute drawings. Yeah, it's really fun. And of course, the first ones are all about her cat. So I'm like, I love this.
I love the cover of it though.
I know.
It's so cute.
The mirror got me good.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel like all cat owners are. It's like the cat is actually keeping them as pets.
It changes you. This the inner like cover. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you can tell what that is.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
But it's hilarious because it's like the cat throws up and then she throws up, and then the cat's like laying down and she's laying down. Anyway, it was really, really funny. It's by Seo Kim. Maddie, I don't know, girl. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's Korean.
But it was really, really good, and I liked it. So
Okay.
I think she does, like, storyboarding, or did, on Adventure Time. So, of course, I loved it.
The style looks similar.
Yeah. So Reed told me I had to talk about what he got. He loves Box Brown. I don't know if you guys have read any Box Brown.
Mm-mm.
But...
No.
He usually does like this is like nonfiction about Tetris. It's just like the history of Tetris, and like the art is cute, and that's all I really know about it. But he loves this guy, so yeah.
I need to now know more about this guy. He wrote an entire book about Tetris,
and I think it won awards and stuff. If he was in here, I'd ask him, but I'm pretty sure it did.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I think it won an Eisner or something. Maybe not. Some award, guys. I don't know. And the same guy did Andre the Giant, so he did a book about.
Ooh, I'd love to read that.
Nice.
And again,
he does. So he does nonfiction, like history, or like.
Yeah, it's all like nonfiction-y kind of history. On the back, it's blurb by Matt Kind, who loved it. So, and I know you're into him, Freya. So you know.
Yeah, I'm recently been into Matt Kind. Is it Kind or Kind?
I thought it was Kent, but. I guess you can say whatever you want because I don't know him.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know what he prefers.
All right.
And then, again, another favorite of yours, Freya, I found...
Ooh, Queen and Country! Yay!
I found the second volume, like, months ago for, like, $3 at an Ollie's.
Uh-huh.
So I found 1 and 4. I just need 3 now. So I guess I'll... And Stock trades it.
I love when collecting goes that way.
I know, right?
So the thing is, like, that number 4 is actually the story ends at number 3. So number 4 is like a declassified. So it's like it's more of a like one-off story of the characters, like different characters in the series. One thing I would recommend though, in 3 there is between issue 28 and 29, the story takes place in a novel. I know. It's so dumb. I was so pissed off about it because I was reading it, then I got to it, I'm like, holy shit, what just happened? Like, drastic thing that happens in the novel that's like, they don't mention it. So now I have to track those down and read them.
Are they hard to find?
No.
Okay, good.
Not. And I'm pretty sure they're available in Hoopla or whatever. Like it's pretty much like one of those airport novel that they say, like thriller, mystery. It's one of those mass market paperbacks. So I was thinking of getting them. And apparently it's pretty good. It's very competitive. But I'm like, why you couldn't pay an artist to draw this shit for you? Like why? Like, I was so annoyed because don't you have to write more for novel? Like, why? See, I told you I'm going to be angry about something.
I love it.
All right. What else you got?
I found a really cheap copy of Extreme X-Men Volume 2. I believe I've talked about the series before on here. Mm-hmm. I loved it as a teenager, so I'm going to revisit it. A lot of people didn't like it. I don't care. So I'm going to read that. We found this, which Reed really likes Stan Sakai. I have not read Usagi. I know you recently did, Freya. And you loved it, right? So we found this, The Adventures of Nilsson Ground Thumper. I don't know, but guess what? It's real cute. So, I like cute stuff.
Uh-huh.
And, I love his art. I do love his art. So, and it's really tiny. It's like a little baby. So,
so it's not, is it set in the world of Usagi or completely?
It's a precursor to it. Okay. So I guess so.
Okay, because I didn't hear about anyone named what? Thumper? Like
It's a swashbuckling bunny, Nilsson Ground Thumper.
Ground Thumper. Yeah, I didn't hear about a ground
That's really
thumper.
cute.
I know, it looks so cute.
Yeah. But I would recommend though for both of you to read Usagi. Like
I really want to. I'm
it's-
probably getting it for read for Christmas, so.
yeah, well that's the thing though.
Reed, don't watch this.
Read and watch it.
No, but the thing is like it's there is someone's putting Kemi from the group, like he's putting the first volume out in a circulation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry that I held on to it a little bit too long. But
Okay, you read it, right?
Yeah, I read it. That's the thing.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
So I also picked up Invincible Iron Man.
Ooh, nice.
Which I've heard good things about, and I like Bendis, and it's all contained in one volume, which I also love.
Oh,
So,
is it?
Yeah, it's issues 1 to 14. It was just, I guess, a miniseries, and it looks nice. Looks nice. And
By the way, do tell me how you feel about it because I can't stand the Tony Stark.
Okay, got it.
Like seriously, like I was just like, I can't be bothered. Stop. Like So, yeah. So let me know how you think about what you think about it. Okay.
We can't pass up a bargain. So, and Reed and I like Spider-Man, so we picked up this Eric Larson, David Michelini. I think this came out maybe a year ago or something.
Ooh.
It was stupid cheap, like some stupid cheap. So I was like, well, we have to get this, right? Because bargains.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I decide what to buy. I get bargains. So I got that. I was pretty excited about this. I actually got this in Atlanta at like a comic shop. It is by Tilly Walden, who I love.
Uh-huh.
A City Inside. It's teeny tiny, a little baby, like littlest baby you've ever seen.
It looks so cute.
Oh, show it compared to the omnibus.
Ooh, I like that. It's the tiniest baby, you guys.
Oh boy,
look at this little baby. But it was great. Like I read it real fast. It was probably not like it should have been like $5 because it was so short. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I really liked it, but I was like, "Ooh, you're so short and so quick." But I love her art.
Right. So
and it gave me feels.
Compared to On a Sunbeam, where would you put it?
Oh, On a Sunbeam, no comparison. Especially that's like 500 plus pages.
Right.
In color, know. And this is itty bitty, but it was nice. It was a cute little short story, and I liked it. It gave me feelings. So that's what her stuff does, right? And I can't resist Duck Comics, and I love like comic strips, like Peanuts. And, I know I need to get Calvin and Hobbes, but I found some Donald Duck newspaper strips books.
Oh, wow.
That are super fun, and they're like these wide, like, I don't know. I'm really excited, and they were super cheap. So I love that. I got 2 of those. And finally...
So who are they? Who publishes them?
Disney Comics. IDW.
Oh.
IDW.
IDW.
Okay. Found it.
I didn't know there's Disney Comics, which is called Marvel.
Well, it says Disney Comics big on the front, but yeah, it's IDW.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're nice hardcovers. And this is not a comic, but I have to show it off because I love Queer Eye. I love Queer Eye, and they just came out with a book, and it's like super cute.
Oh man, I love those men so much.
Oh my gosh, me too. And I love Jonathan. Jonathan's my favorite.
Oh my god, his Instagram is...
It's the best.
So
I love how really he cries all the time because
God.
I do too, and it makes me very happy.
Yes.
So is it the new Queer Eye?
Yes.
Yes. Oh man, Freya, please.
Oh,
I watched it.
Okay, good. Did you love it?
Yeah, I do.
Can you believe?
Well, the thing is, here's the thing. I only watched first 2 episodes, and I have to go back. Like, I haven't watched everything. So, I love watching anything with like over the top gay men in it.
Yeah.
I love it. Like it's my thing. So
and they're all lovely humans.
I know.
Just because just like it says, love yourself, love your life. They're inspirational, so the whole thing's inspirational.
Really
and there's like lovely photography.
Yeah, but
where's their comic? Where's their superhero comic?
I know, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh, Tan on the front with his gorgeous hair. Come on.
Honestly, Tan is like he's like the leading style icon for like lesbians today, which is why I love him. It's like French tuck. Okay, we got this right.
French tuck forever.
I know. I really love that their tagline for this was like the last show was about coming out, showing that we're here and this is about getting acceptance and stuff like that. So I was looking forward to it, but it's a failure on my part that I didn't watch the entire season yet. There's like 2 seasons now. How many seasons are there?
Yeah, and they just finished wrapping season 3. So
okay.
Soon.
All right, so that's all you got?
That's what I got.
That was some hefty haul there.
Oh yeah. Oh, one more thing I forgot. I got this adorable like miniature. What can I compare it to? A regular trade. This Deadpool figure.
Oh, that's so cute.
It is the cutest. I love how he's coming out of the comic. Okay,
so
and
cute.
Anything with kittens, guys.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty small. Like here's a regular trade, right?
So what is
it's really cute. It's a little figure. Can you read it?
No, I know, but who made that?
Oh gosh, I don't have the box, guys.
But it's amazing. We can't hear you, Kristen.
Kristen, no.
We can't hear you.
Oh, we hear you now.
Come back.
Wait.
Oh, got it?
Yeah.
Now we can hear you. Yeah, we can't hear you now anymore. We can't hear you, Kristen!
Every time that happens, my mic goes out.
Oh, okay. All right.
Huh.
Well,
it's very cute.
Thanks.
It's still cute. So, is that all you got?
That's what I got. Yeah.
Oh, that was a lot. So, how's your... So I was just saying that how was the haul for the second Gen Charles? How would you rate that?
How would I rate the haul?
No, how would you rate the second Gen Charles that you had seen? Are they all the same, or there was one that was better than the others?
We went to the first one we went to was in Augusta, Georgia, which is the home of James Charles. James Charles, not James Charles, James Brown. If anybody knows who James Charles is, you're laughing right now. James Brown. James Charles is a makeup guy on YouTube. Anyway, it's not who I meant. And in that one was weird because they seem to be only in like college towns.
Oh, okay.
And we didn't see a college around the city. In fact, it was like a lot of it was run down and it was like kind of in the middle of nowhere. But we found the most stuff there. So I don't know if like everyone's just bringing all their comics there or what. Like, I don't really know, but it was great.
Nice. Okay. There's only one comics, Second Gen Charles over here, and that's in Delaware. And, for me to go there, it's just not worth it. Like, in terms of like...
Sure.
I feel like I have to go
like... Any.
Oh, really? Well, now you're gonna, and then you two are gonna meet up and whatnot. So, Maddie, what you got?
Okay, so I only got a couple things this week because I'm waiting to do my big buy next week. And I'm focusing on holiday gifts, which we're about to get to. And I'm very serious about my holiday shopping. But before we talk about that, I was having a bad day last week. And so we went to Half Price Books and we found this. It's Dragon Age Volume 1 Library Edition by Dark Horse. And it contains the first 3 volumes of this story. I think it's related to Dragon Age 2. It has Silent Grove, Those Who Speak, and Until We Sleep. Written by David Gator, who also writes the Dragon Age video games. And this is like honkin'. It is huge and it's beautiful. And I got it for like $50 at Half Price Books. And This is actually out of print, like super out of print. I had no idea because I looked it up. I was like, well, I'll see if I want it. Like, we'll see what it costs because $50 is a lot, for half price.
Mm.
And I look online and everyone's selling it for like 600, 800, 1,000. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll buy this book right now. Okay. So yeah, Elliot picked it up for me because I was having a bad day. I was like, thank you. And it's great. And then the second volume for the library edition comes out next month. And it's written by Greg Rucka. And so I'm very excited about that because I love this world so much. It means a lot to me. And so I'm excited to start collecting these. I didn't need to collect another thing, but here it is.
So what's this about?
If you haven't played the game, can you get into it? I assume it's about the game, right?
So I haven't read this one yet, so I'm not sure. Yes, about the game. It's very much related to Dragon Age 2. I'm not sure yet, but I'll give my little review about it once I read through it.
Sounds good.
I don't imagine you would enjoy it as much unless you played the game, but I could be wrong. Maybe somebody in the comments will know, or somebody in the chat. But the Dragon Age series is set up in it's a very fantasy-esque sort of. You got mages and you've got knights and you've got dwarves and you've got the Kunari race, which is like the big kind of tough people. You got elves and all the politics that go in with that, where humans are overall a really shitty group that isn't nice to dwarves or elves, right? So it's a wonderful series, and it's got my husband, my number one video game husband. It's very hard for me to choose one, but he's right there. My husband, Alistair.
Nice.
We're married. I love him. I'll love him forever. He's great. So there's that. And I love the holidays and I love Christmas a lot. So I picked up yesterday a Very DC Rebirth holiday sequel to go with my A Very DC Rebirth holiday.
Cute.
And it's a little bit of double dipping, but it compiles all of the, I guess all of them, I don't know for sure, but I assume all of the holiday annuals for the year. So it's got like Green Arrow and some Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn and Teen Titans. And I love stuff like this. I love Christmas. So it's nice when there's like a holiday Christmas book because basically it's just like one-offs and Klaus. As far as I know, that's it. That's your comic holiday. But
I would love that. Like,
it's
to
cute. Look
have
how cute the cover is.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman on the sleigh.
It's really cute.
And so
great.
these are like the general, like in sequence holiday, like in sequence holiday themed issues from Rebirth. Okay.
Yeah, so most of these are like the annuals, that are kind of offshoots of stuff. Because most of your ongoing series do have these little like holiday fillers, which is nice. I like stuff like that a lot. And I wish I saw that in comics more because in manga, there's very often kind of like just fun, unrelated to the story issues where you get to know your characters more and you get to kind of see them relax without worrying about the big bad or the overarching story. And that's something I wish I saw more in comics because I feel like comic writers and artists, they need to give their audience more of a chance to relax with these characters and see how they are when they're not fighting. So that way when the big high stakes things come up, you're more connected to them. There's more to lose. Because if they're always fighting and doing stuff, it's like, well, this is just your life, fine. But if you're like, Nightwing is going on a shopping trip one day and you read, 20 pages about that, that's way more interesting to me than his usual life.
Which is kind of boring.
Yeah, honestly. Sorry, Dick Grayson. Or Rick Grayson. My bad.
Oh yeah, that happened. That's a thing. No, yeah. I always kind of like, lament that Marvel and DC don't get together and do like, all the team ups and sell those issues for charity. Like, it's like a holiday spirit to bring that in. You can either do like, Wonder Woman and She-Hulk went shopping and had a spa day. Why not? Let us have that.
Because we used to have crossovers, right? There's a couple that have happened with Marvel.
Yeah, but they were like, that was like, I don't know what was the situation at that time, but they're just such bitter rivals now, and then it's like, ugh, they don't do it. I'm like, just do it for the holidays, like,
yeah,
for charity. I would buy the shit out of that.
Yeah,
before, right? Because I want these crossovers desperately.
Yeah,
and I'm only going to get them in fan fiction or fan art, so
yeah, and
they're losing out on my money.
Just put them out, and then they're doing all these things with like Walmart, putting things out on Walmart or like whatever. Just do it like, oh, Target, Walmart, CVS, like go and find these issues, and these are all going to be for charity or what? I don't know. Do something like, I feel like there's not enough creativity. I know. Why aren't we working for them?
We changed the world.
I don't know.
Who do we talk to get working for them?
They need our help. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Oh, they desperately do. Desperately do. All right. So, you do you have anything else, Maddie?
No, that's it. I only bought 2 things this week.
Right. So, my major haul hasn't come in yet because we are still waiting on Absolute Transmetropolitan Volume 2 in IST, and that's holding up my order. And I'm kind of freaking out about it because I want my Transmetropolitan. Like, I love that series so much. So when that third Absolute came out, I'm like, it's okay. I'm going to go get it. So while that's kind of on its way, so I'll get to show my actual haul next week. But guess what? This thick, chunky, the Hulk book that. So,
Open it up.
Ooh, look at that.
Yes.
Look at that,
it's
Kristen.
Perfect. It's perfect.
So this is Incredible Hulk by Jason Aaron complete collection. Yesterday was my birthday.
Yay!
Thank you. So a friend of mine was like, well, I don't know what to get you, and I'm like, I know what you can get me. So I was in New York, and so I took her to the Midtown Comics and made her buy this for me. So I'm like, she's like, well, I don't know what to get. I want to get you something and stuff. So I got her this. And also Tyler Chu, he actually, I wish I had it over here. He had got me Animosity, the hardcover. That was like a comic, local comic shop special, and also Mark Waid's Black Widow Volume 1 and 2, which...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I love Mark Waid's Black Widow run, so I already had it, so I'm going to keep the book copy that he gave me and probably just give out or sell the other 2. So that was that. And also, speaking of Hulk, I also got Mark Waid's Hulk run in complete... Look at this one.
That's beautiful.
Kristen, just look.
It's lovely.
And they match so good.
It's lovely.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, there is a second volume to this, which is also being held up with the Transmetropolitan. So once that comes, Kristen, I'm going to... Beautiful. This is going to be like,
It's beautiful. You should grow another hand just to open them all at the same time.
So if you haven't already read, if you're watching and if you haven't read Incredible Hulk by Mark Waid, it is very similar to his Daredevil run in terms of like he took Hulk to be a complete different level because Bruce Banner decides to go to S.H.I.E.L.D. and we're like, hey, I'll pimp out Hulk to you. You can just drop them wherever and do whatever you want to do with him, but you let me have all the resources that I want to do my scientific experiment. Like, it's just someone to do my scientific research. So it's just incredible. I can't believe it.
No.
It's incredible. Come on, it's actually pretty good. I really, really enjoy it. And then it got derailed by some events that we don't talk about. But that did happen. But still, while they were at it. And it also have art by Walter Simonson for 2 of the issues that has Thor involved. So this is really good. So I was very happy. Like, I was kind of waiting to see if there is but then when I saw the thick, chunky, complete collection, I'm like, gotta have it.
Yeah.
And then I went and got it. So yes. And also, this is huge news, guys, because this is huge news. I read my first manga.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
So
We never thought it would happen, but here we are.
here we are.
Also, I love how this is the book. Like when we started, we were like, "Well, I'll read it," and then that didn't happen.
Well, I can't buy it on in-stock trades, so I'm just like, I guess I'll never buy it. I guess I'll just die.
I understand that.
Hey, wait, this is in stock trades.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Oh,
I'll send
man.
Of
you
course
the link.
it is. I feel a fool. Emily, forgive me.
Yes, please. Now you have to go and like.
All right, well, I'll put it on next week's order.
I have to get volume 2 next week, so.
Yeah, so this is both in stock trades, although I got it from Amazon. But
Don't tell Emily. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
Blasphemy.
hey, listen. This was like I had a lot of Amazon points, and this was But the thing is, this is you are the one who recommended it, so don't say that I don't read your recommendation.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm thrilled to hear this because I know you didn't hate it. So yeah.
I think you said it like on one of the very first episodes we did. My Brother's Husband. So I was just waiting for the volume 2 to come out, and volume 1 and 2 are both out now. And this is like hardcover, and this is such a heartfelt, sweet story. And it's so what happens then? Mike Flanagan, he is like a Canadian who shows up to Yachi, like his house, and then his brother. He's actually his brother's husband, and the brother passed away. And so the whole story is about them going through and accepting the situation, accepting the tragedy, and the kind of moving on from their life and stuff. And it's just so cute. It's so cute. I mean, I finished it 5. It gave me so many feels, and especially volume 2 is more feelful than the.
Wow.
I gotta get on that. My kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would like it, Maddie.
And the thing is, like, I kind of connect to a lot of these things because I grew up in Bangladesh, and the idea of homosexuality is not, it's not. We were like, it's kind of, if you look between like everything that Nanette said in her special. Like it's the exact same thing, like that we felt, I felt, and I had to unlearn about a lot of these things once I moved to Canada. Like in terms of, like, once I moved out of that situation, that hey, there's nothing wrong, it's just a thing, just get over, and a lot of that is kind of discussed over here because obviously Japan is not as open as over here, so having that idea and how to deal with that, or how people are like talk about it and stuff. So it's very, I thought, like from a perspective of queer representation, this was so good.
I felt like it was a story that
like manga. So stop telling me that. Like
I only took it from your own words.
Say that again.
I only took it from your own words. I'm just messing with you.
No, say that. What did you say? I didn't hear what you said.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay. But
no,
anyway,
what I was gonna say is, it feels like a story that like really hasn't been told.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like I've never read anything like it.
No, absolutely. And the thing is, like, I think, like, if it was done in a Western comic wise, it would work, but it had to be done by a Japanese person.
Yeah.
Like it had to be done by a Japanese creator to completely understand, because I don't think it would have been as impactful if it was from the husband's, like, from the Canadian point of view, if you know what I mean. Like the fact that it was completely from the Japanese point of view, like, he was the guest, and it was like how the brother was kind of dealing with this situation and stuff like that. It was just, and I can't, like, it was amazing. I really loved it, and I finished it with it. Is this how fast you read manga? I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
often, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. First I had to be like, wait, this isn't this way. Then I'm like, holy shit. Then you have to go this direction as well.
But didn't your brain like quickly get used to it?
It didn't take.
That was like the shocking thing when I started reading manga. I was like, oh, I'll never get used to this, and I just immediately. So I just find that fascinating. I'm like, your brain just understands.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, we're not like, listen, there's some people. I just don't. I don't read manga not because of this, But there are some people who just take it and like, oh my god, it's left your eyes. Shut up. Like,
yeah, it's not that hard.
It's not that hard. Shut up. You just deal with it. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like, my super mini haul thing. So there will be more next week's episode because it's all gonna be coming together at that time.
Yeah, I think next week just needs to be like a haul episode because I'm probably gonna go mad shopping on Black Friday, which leads us to our topic.
Yes, please tell us what you know. There's some. Do you know some deals and stuff?
Yes.
Well, not so much overall. I mean, of course, we have in-stock trades. So, I mean, since you guys watch the show, you know about in-stock trades. So it's not like any insider information. Although, for a lot of my friends that are into comic books, that is like a big deal because they don't know. Although I do recommend that if you have family members that want to shop for you, save your wish list like on in-stock trades or Amazon and make it easier for them. I like being surprised, so I don't like to ask for specific things. But I'm not against showing someone a wish list and being like, there's like a 200 things on this list. So if you get me something from it, I'm going to be surprised because there's no way for me to know what I'm going to get. But Black Friday is coming up. So in Lexington, where I live, there's a lot. I have like 4 comic book stores. And a lot of them are already starting to post their deals. So I've got a store in town that's doing 20% off figures, which is a big deal because they have sideshow figures. So that's like, you save a lot of money. And they also are doing 40% off all trade paperbacks and hardcovers. And they're the only store in town that actually carries omnibuses. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but I feel like a lot of comic book stores, at least in my area, don't carry omnibuses. Like very rarely do they carry that. It's always trades, which is very frustrating. But that's a big deal where I'm at. But I super recommend if you're into geeky stuff or if you're shopping for geeky people in your life or want to tell people to shop for you. There's so many awesome stores and stuff now you can shop at. Like the brand Her Universe is really cool for geeks like us, like for especially like ladies, but there's also men's clothing there as well. Like they make geeky dresses and coats and jackets and like all sorts of stuff. Like I have a ton of their Wonder Woman collection. I know Hot Topic's doing some good deals and stuff as well. I'm trying to think of other big things I was looking at. I'll be at Best Buy that day to buy DVDs. But what are you guys doing? Like do you guys do Black Friday shopping? Do you not? Or like what?
Well, specifically for the comic fans, there's a deal that I'm really looking forward to on Cyber Monday, which is the Fantagraphics website is having a 40% off sale, which is huge for them because just like most publisher websites, they don't have any percentage off. And then when you think about in-stock trades, of course we want people to go there, but their percentage off on Fantagraphics, I think it's only 20 or 30.
So what comics does Fantagraphics do? Like I can't
That's the question.
Face it.
Well, what I love from them are these Don Rosa sets that Mark Waid complimented. So, these nice box sets of a lot of the old like Disney comics. But they do a lot of like indie stuff, and I'm trying to think of like what else.
The 20% off that you're talking about, that's digital and physical.
Is it?
I'm asking.
I have no idea. I don't know. Okay. But I'm looking forward to the physical just because, like, again, that percentage on IST is so small that, it's definitely worth it. They have a lot of really nice, like, box sets, and they do all the Peanuts books. So if you're looking for any of those sets, those are really, really nice. They do a lot of the old comic strips and stuff like that, too.
I'm creeping right now through their shop.
And
I'll leave that tab open and look at later.
Yeah, but the thing is that I know that Amazon does flash sales though, but I think they have now moved that more towards their Prime Day than their Black Friday. So that's kind of unfortunate, or Cyber Monday thing. So, but they're mostly doing like I know that from time to time, like in Hobbs, like box sets all of a sudden will go for like ridiculously low price, but you kind of also have to think about their damage and all that because we know that they're not but the Calvin and box set that I got, Calvin and Hobbs, the box set that I got, it came in like they might as well put it in like what you call it safe, like a steel safe, because that was very well packed. But they didn't pack it. It came packed from publisher.
Well, that's kind of nice to know, though.
Yeah, because it was like box that they already had it, so they just kind of pulled the box and then dropped it, so like put it in their package. So that was kind of like a good thing. My local comic book store, and I won't be here to take advantage of that because I'll be out of town, is Cards, Comics, and Collectibles. They're doing 50% off from Friday, Saturday, 50% off on all hardcover and paperback, and 60% off on Sunday.
Oh man,
wow. That's amazing.
I know, but it will exclude new this week, which is like all local store does that. But I will be like, the store closes at 5. I will be landing on 4 p.m. on Sunday. Then I'm like, oh, there's no way I'll be making it because it's about an hour, an hour from the airport. But I'm just kind of limiting that. But they do. So if you are in the tri-state area, like DC, Delaware, Baltimore, even Virginia, do come, make a trip there. It's completely worth it for 60% off, and they are stocked. Like they have everything, and they have rooms. They should, because I'm kind of a good friend with the one of the store manager. Like he was like, we have so many boxes at the back that are here from 2008-9 of hardcover and paperback.
Oh my gosh.
I am 100% sure in one of them there is Annihilation Omnibus or Uncanny X-Force Omnibus. I'm 100% sure one of them has it. But that, it's like, and I told them, why don't you guys just do a 10 sale or something? It's like, well, apparently they're planning on opening another store. So maybe that's the plan. Oh, also Barnes & Noble, I know, buy 2 get 1 free for Marvel and DC.
Marvel and Image.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know that during Thanksgiving time they have stackable coupon codes. So
ooh, that's good.
That's nice.
Yeah, you can check that out as well.
Another website I've been looking at is Right Stuff for manga.
Great.
Yeah, manga deals and anime deals. I think their sales have already started, actually. I think it started this week, and it goes until Christmas. And the really nice thing that I like to stare at is their sets of manga, because they're way, way, way cheaper than they already usually have cheap stuff, but even cheaper than IST, and they'll do packages of you can hit the first 5 volumes in this for something. So they always have really good deals during the holidays.
Okay. Well, speaking of a manga deal, I know that Death Note, the fancy edition of the Death Note in all-in-one volume, I think it's going for a pretty cheap price in Amazon right now. Let me check, because I think last time I saw it, it was there. So keep talking, I'll find it.
So we do have a question in the chat. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
We have a question in the chat. It says, it's from Carrie G. And he says, I'm just starting my collection. What tips do you have? I figured that's related to shopping, so we can talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of, Death Note all-in-one edition, currently at 40% off in Amazon. And you can, so it's a $39.99. It's a pretty impressive looking. So keep talking. I'm going to bring it because I actually wanted to talk about that.
So, Carrie, I'm just starting out too. My collection is not as big as these other 2 wonderful ladies. But for me, going in, I think it's just a lot of picking up stuff and trying it. And if you want to save your money and try out stuff first before you buy it, I think all of those digital reading apps are really helpful, like Comixology and Marvel. But if you already kind of know what you want to pick up, honestly, jumping in stock trades and keeping an eye on those deals, joining groups like the Omnibus Collectors Network, where you can buy from fellow collectors. I think that's your best bet. If you don't know what to collect, Peter's guide on Crushing Crisis. He's a Crushing Crisis website, which where he details, if you want to look at X-Men, or if you want to collect Titans, or you want to collect Harley Quinn, he details in order what's all been released and what's collected in which. And it's very helpful when you're starting out trying to figure out, well, I want to collect these series, but do I collect trades, or do I collect the omnibus? And does the omnibus even have everything in it, or is it missing things? Those are really helpful to check out. That's my 2 cents.
Yep. My go-to answer for this is kind of something I was going to talk about anyway. When I think about like someone who's maybe not into comics or wants to get into comics, getting them something for the holidays, or just like wanting to force something I like on them. The Image Volume 1.
Mofos!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Image Volume 1s are dirt cheap. And especially if you get them from IST, they're nearly 50% off. And they're always $10, the first volume. So you're going to get it for like $5 something, $6. And they're perfect. I mean, it's a perfect like starting point for all of these series, and you can find tons of them. So if you really wanted to go all out, get like 5 of those for your friend and be like, hey, read all this because it's great.
Yeah.
And then, or if you're just starting, you could see if you like them or not. It's a really good way to be like, I don't know if I like this, or want to invest a lot of money because they're so cheap and accessible.
Are you talking
That's
about
true.
Image?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, because the thing is, In Stock Trade also have a lot of Image books for like $2.99 now.
Oh,
or
yeah.
$1.99.
I need to pick up that
imagine.
Motor Crush before it's too late, and I'm worried by the time I go shopping next week it won't be there. So if any of you are making an order and want to order Motor Crush for me, it would be great. It's like $3.
Peer pressure.
So I would recommend that. I wasn't sure. Is it like a new to collecting or new to comic?
Yeah, so Carrie says or he or she is new to collecting and was just starting their collection, and they were asking for tips.
Okay, so I would recommend if you're new to collection, I think some of the mistakes that I made when I was starting to collect is like I thought that I was not snob enough to be worrying about format and to worry about, that format or like worry about format. Like I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I can get one in omnibus, one in trades, and one in hardcover, and like a normal format hardcover. Only to realize that, oh no, I'm a snob, and I want everything to look uniform and So
Yeah.
I ended up, instead of waiting for a good deal to show up for an omnibus that is currently out of print or whatever, I went and bought like the paperback or whatever, only to regret it and having to sell it for a cheaper price. So I ended up making more loss, if you know what I mean, like in order to, so if you really know something that, okay, I really love this character and I want to have this definitive run in the omnibus format, wait it out. Like I wouldn't wait for the good deals to show up or a reprint, because anything Marvel will reprint anything under the sun. So
and if it's not collected, there's nothing wrong with collecting all the floppies, which is really fun. It makes comic book shopping way more fun, because if you can go through the little bins of issues, it gives you something to look for. But collecting those and getting them custom bound is also a really unique way to start your collection or do collecting, because it's like you get to decide what it looks like and what's in there, and it can be it's like a piece of you and the series.
And I also recommend, though, is that to do this, like, know what you want, like what you like, because I feel like at the beginning I cared a lot about things, like I bought a lot of books just because it sounded interesting, only to really realize I don't give a damn about them. So if it's something that is out of print and stuff, please find a way, you can go to the libraries or find a way to read it on paperback just for the first volume, first 5, 6, first arc, to see that, okay, this is my thing, this is what I like. I found out very hard way that I do not give a shit about Tony Stark. So the fact that I bought Matt Fraction's entire Iron Man run was a complete waste of my money and my effort, because oh my god, I don't care about that character. So, and the same goes for, sadly, and once again, I don't want to start this, but it's completely Garth Ennis's fault, I can't stand a lot of DC characters as well. That.
Sorry.
Yeah. So a lot of omnibuses I had to let go because of that.
So Lameworks had a really good comment, and he said, or they said, I don't know, Lameworks. I try to go for one and done stories. You get something complete to get you started. Super inexpensive and fulfilling. I agree.
It's a good point.
Completely agree.
And there's a lot of Image ones where you can get if you don't care about the format, you can get 3 trades for dirt cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
And you're done,
Yeah. I would recommend for that as well. Going for, but at the same time, I would say that read the first arc, like please, only to find out like whether you care for the rest of it, because you can get into really slippery slope. I got into, and I say that while I look around, so many slippery slopes waiting for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not...
another good thing would be like the Marvel Epics. If you're wanting to get into like any of the somewhat older, some past like I don't know, some of them are newer, I guess. But if you want a good chunk for your money, those are great.
Yeah. Well, I can't. I don't read older comics, so I don't.
They're not all older, but
oh really? I thought that's what the epics are. I thought the Marvel epics are all.
I thought there were some that were past like 2000s.
Oh,
I could be wrong.
New information. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. What is?
I was under the impression they were going to literally put everything into that format, and they're just printing them differently. A lot of them are older, but.
Oh, I thought that was the fun as well. Like they don't know what's coming out, what's gonna be collecting and what. Like it's like they just wait till it like.
Okay, Philip Evans is saying epics are pre-98, complete collections are after 98. Okay, I didn't know that. Complete collections. That's another thing though. The chunkers we love. Those are great.
No. Listen, I don't care what you think about the characters and stuff. If you get a complete collection like this,
yeah, and it's worth the money. Like it's great, good value, and you can do that, and you can be amazed. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I can, and you can be amazed. That's true. Oh, sorry. Yeah, like, but, alright. Okay, so any other like in a sideshow or things like that? Do they do any kind of do you know if they do any kind of...
I'm waiting to see because I'm new to sideshow figures, and I do. I'm on their like mailing list and everything else, but they haven't announced anything big deal wise. And I feel like I'm not very good at finding good deals on figures that much. Usually if I want to save money on figures, I just go to Amazon. But that's about it. And like luckily, my town there's, the one store has 20% off figures, which is great. So a lot of comic book stores do some deals, but I feel like I don't see that as much otherwise. Like Sideshow does do deals on specific figures, but I never see overall website deals. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, you can save $75 today on this particular figure, or this figure you can get $25 off or free shipping, but then it's never but I do have I cannot wait for when my Sideshow figure comes in and I get to show everybody on the video on our show.
Ooh, cannot wait. What is it? Can you give us a hint?
It's Wonder Woman. That's your hint.
Okay.
There's no hint.
I was going to guess
that. I've been paying her off since May because they let you do payments, which I love. That's the other like great thing about stuff like that is that you can do those payments, which make it a lot more accessible. So if there's something like that you're into, you can just slow and steadily wait for it to come out. But she is beautiful. She's like 22 inches tall.
Which one is it?
The face sculpt's amazing. It's like I forgot what it's called. It's like premium deluxe. But she's wearing her outfit looks more like Rebirth outfit because she's got kind of a skirt. And she has like the lasso out, and she looks very muscular, which I like. Because I don't mind the pretty figures, but when it comes to like if it's a female character figure, if they're very like muscly and their body looks more real instead of like pretty, that's my aesthetic. That's what I'm really into. So like you can really see like her leg muscles and like her arm muscles. And she has a cool face. It's not just too pretty. It's not too skinny. It's like a muscular Amazon body. So for me, I'm just like, whew, okay, here we go. Like that. It looks really cool, and I'm probably going to buy another one once I get that one in because I've been watching Red Sonja figure videos all day, every day for like a month. It's a problem because I want it so bad, but it's so expensive.
How much is it?
It's $500.
Oh boy!
Ouch!
I could buy so many books from Stock Trades for one figure.
That would be the most epic haul.
Could you imagine? I would love that. I don't know even know what I would do. Go swimming in books.
Like I don't know. I feel like statue is one thing that I can't justify myself to.
That's how
like
I feel.
Like it just because
don't start
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things, but I say that while, can you see a
Because
front?
you've got some good ones.
Yeah, you got some
I've
good
got a
ones.
Yeah.
I never see it. I never show it, but I've got a whole figure shelf over here,
Right.
and that doesn't even count like the, my Gotham City Garage Wonder Woman or Batgirl or my Frank Cho Wonder Woman. There's a
French
lot.
show. But what was saying that I know the reason I'm looking for it. Hang on, I'm gonna find it. The one thing on Sideshow that I really want is a bearded Captain America.
Oh,
You really should get one, honestly.
you should get one just to show it at every show.
I feel like if I do that, I might end up getting into the weird kind of perversion that I don't want to put myself in. That's my only concern.
Just give yourself
Like-
a time limit. Put them up for like 3 seconds, and then be like, I gotta take them away before something happens.
And that's what's cool about figure collecting is that, like, if you're not like Omar, who's also on the Omnibus channel, Omar, if he starts to buy a figure from a collection, he's got to buy the whole collection. He doesn't have any chill like that. I just want figures of the characters I like. I don't need the whole collection. I'm not that kind of collector. Like,
Look
I
at
just want
this
whoever.
guy over here. Can you see it?
it?
Like,
Yeah. And look at those abs.
I think I might, if I bring this one, I might lick it.
Oh,
That's
yeah. Our show would become something else. You're right. It's too much.
like it's whoa! Oh my god! No, there's no way. Look at this. This is the whole line.
Ooh. Is that like $1 million? Literally.
No, these are actually one. Each of them is 105. Whoa, this is dangerous, you guys. Why did I even gone into that? I just wanted to see a bearded Captain America. Now it's giving me ideas.
Dangerous.
Okay, I should stop. All right. Okay, so what's our next topic to talk about?
Was
I'm
that
sorry, I
it?
was responding to something.
I think you were going to rant, Freya. I think that was it. You were going to have a
We
rant.
also talked about doing it shorter today, so the next week we can do a really lengthy.
Okay,
show.
so let me rant for 5 minutes.
You got it.
And
Do it.
then we're gonna sign off. So the reason I wanted to, well, there's a couple of things. One of the things we wanted to talk about, but I don't know if it's actually worth talking about, Bill Maher and his whatever issue he had with
Adults
Stan
don't
Lee.
read comics and don't care about Stan Lee. All I did was make people watch the movies. Yeah, it was.
We all know that was stupid. That's
It was
about
stupid.
it, right?
Yeah.
It's so stupid. That's it.
I kind of cringed a little. Like I'm like,
It was incredibly. It was just so ignorant because I'm like, what are you even
Yeah.
talking about? Like, there's not real literature. There's some of the most impactful stories I've ever read. As somebody who also reads regular books and who has a master's degree,
Regular. Yeah.
are in comic books. I mean, and they're meaningful and impactful, and it's a very like underrated media to talk about stories because some stories I feel like can only be done with justice, I guess, or given just what's the word? What's the phrase? Done well,
right.
anyways.
Yeah.
In comic book format, and some of those are very adult stories.
no,
you know.
someone actually mentioned in the group, like he was talking about that. Why is it adults to read book and then go to a gallery and look at art, but when you combine together, God forbid, now it becomes for
fine.
children.
Hmm.
You know, like it just
Yeah. Well, and I have to
Whatever.
mention something that happened to me real quick on Twitter. Like, I have
Oh, tell
Twitter, and I read Twitter. And after this happened, I wanted to know what, like, the comic people were saying, the creators and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I was reading some of that, and I stumbled upon just some random person commenting about it and saying how right he thought Bill was and all this. And I don't know what possessed me because I like never reply to people because I just know. I'm like, why would I do this? After I did it, I was like, that was stupid because I just know this is going to go nowhere and this person isn't going to change their mind about anything. But this guy was like, no, he's right. And here's the thing, and then he starts talking about like civil rights people and he mentions John Lewis and he's like, they're in there writing legislation and they're doing this and that and blah, blah. And I'm like, wait, does he not know John Lewis literally wrote a graphic novel that was amazing?
Yes!
So I had this moment. I was like, I have to say something, right?
I have to let him know.
I have to tell him. And
I
I
don't
was
blame you.
like, I was nice about it, but I was like, John Lewis wrote this really amazing graphic novel, like comic book, called March, and not every comic book is about superheroes. That's all I said, right? And this guy went off, and he replied, he's like, no, he did not write it, and he's like, these illustrators just took his biography and adapted it. I'm like, not really. And then he goes on and on. He's like, no, he was in Congress doing stuff. He didn't write this, and he's like, he didn't get his crayons out and like draw pictures. And I'm like, wait, this guy doesn't get it. This is someone who I think is just like Bill. He does not understand the format. Like, now he thinks he also illustrated it. Like, none of it made sense, right?
I met the illustrator, Andrew Aiden. I actually went out of my way to look at him time to time in AwesomeCon.
And John Lewis legitimately wrote this comic book, so that's a real thing that happened. Wow. Like, it wasn't just adapted.
He did it, and the thing is, like, he actually found the illustrators and said that I wanted to do it in graphic novel format because it's more impactful to have art to go with it.
Which is so true.
I read March, and I do not think it would have been as impactful if it was not in graphic novel. Like, if it wasn't in graphic novel format, I don't think. I mean, it was still gonna be a difficult and very it's just talking about the impact that it does have on you, like the fact that, oh my God, this was happening, and this is not a story from apartheid South Africa, but America. Like, it just it's completely different. Anyway, with that out of the way, so the next two things that I wanted to talk about, these are both of the things that I truly enjoyed, but I have reservations about it, and I wanted to kind of discuss this. So first of all, Bohemian Rhapsody, I cannot stop thinking about that movie. It's because it's supposedly a Queen biopic. I say that in a huge air quote, or Freddie Mercury biopic. But I have very emotional connection with Queen music from when I was a child and stuff. So I went to see it. But I cannot stop thinking about the mistreatment of queer or Freddie Mercury's gay lifestyle that was portrayed on screen. I don't know. Make it look like that somehow him being gay.
Well, bisexual, actually, which we never talked about.
Yeah. Okay, him being bisexual.
Bi people don't exist.
Yeah. The him being bisexual, him being queer. Let's just say that. The fact that he actually comes out to his girlfriend and say that, oh, I think I am bisexual, and she's like, no, you're gay. I'm like, what? No, no, he is bisexual. That's a thing.
Yeah.
And I was a little annoyed the fact that this was done by Bryan Singer, who is gay himself. And despite all his other things, let's not talk about that. He is and I was like, what? And then the fact that all the straight, Brian May met his ex-wife at an orgy. And that wasn't in the movie. In the movie, they show that, oh, they're just, family together. And it's the whole thing, I was really annoyed by it. I'm still upset by it because I thought that this could have been, they're a rock band. A rock band biopic should have at least 3 orgy sessions in it. That's a minimum. I know what the Rock's I mean, we know what they're up to. And it's just normal. But they showed that, oh, they're goody two shoes straight people. But look at Freddie Mercury and his he's on a gay bender over here. I don't know. I can't. I feel like I need to take a shower just the fact that I enjoyed that movie despite this. I enjoyed the fact that I enjoyed the movie. Because they had the whole Live Aid concert and their music and everything. I was just so enamored by that. But at the same time, the whole time I was like, why? Why am I liking this?
See, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't speak to it. I know that there's an internal struggle when writing when making any media about real life people or gay people or queer people, LGBT, etc. And you have to decide, do you want to make? What do you want to make the movie the focus of? Does it always have to involve their sexuality and always have to be like, we need you to know? Or does it need to just talk about something else in spite of that? I don't know.
But I know, but it was like they should have just made it a Queen biopic then. Talk about Queen. Like, they tried to have both. They tried to do it like, they tried to have their cake and eat it too. So because Freddie Mercury was the most bombastic of them all, and he was like a larger than life character, they obviously had to show him. But that's what I'm saying. So if you're gonna do it, then why not just show that, okay, he was just a little messed up person. Like he was very like, it's not because he's gay. Like the fact that the way they just showed it as if like, oh, as soon as he decides to come out, he became like this. If you know what I mean, there's like a subliminal message that I did not like that. Like they just showed that, oh no, it's him. Like it's him being this way is what it was, not because he chose, like, not because he chose that. He didn't choose that lifestyle because he is gay or queer, but he chose that lifestyle because he's a bombastic person. This is his personality, That's where my kind of like, where I get a little bit, I was just like, stop. Like,
right.
And the other thing was, have you seen Castlevania in the end of the day, Maddie?
No, I didn't finish it. So I've seen the first season. I watched the first season, and then I went to go start Castlevania, but I realized that show deserves my undivided attention, like on the TV, and not just me watching on my phone. Because like I just did a show for another channel about a Netflix animation series. I was going to watch that also. So I was able to watch She-Ra. I was able to watch Dragon Prince this week. But those are very easy to kind of, you don't have to have your full focus.
Right.
But like Castlevania needs my full focus. It needs to be uninterrupted.
What did you think of the first four episodes?
I loved the first 4 episodes. The animation's beautiful.
So
I loved
good.
Everything. So
the second season. Anyway, the second season there is an element of it that's like, got Tumblr all riled up. And if it got Tumblr riled up, that means I got riled up the other direction.
Oh.
So I think like a lot of people were talking about, there is a character. There are 2 person of color in this, among all the white vampires. And the thing is, though, there is a vampire group that are from different parts of the world, but they don't have any speaking roles. So the 2 people of color that have speaking roles, and there's this discussions about treatment of them, because one of them is shown to become a villain himself, like, and he also had very terrible upbringing, like a very terrible childhood and semi-adulthood. And because of that, he became a little off-kilter. He's also a very powerful human. And so there is that, and they're like, they showed like, one person of character to be bad. And I'm like, what's wrong with that? Like, we can be evil too. Like, it's not like, it doesn't have to be like, all person of character. Like, and the thing is, it's justifiable. Like the way he turned, like it's completely valid. I thought that it was very okay. Yeah, I would have become an evil villain too if that happened to me. And there are certain elements that's like, that happened. He's from Egypt, and it's true. Those are the things that happen to Egyptian people, like that happen to Black people, or like people Middle Eastern or whatever. I don't think it's set in our world, so it's not the same. But if you think about it, it's not a bad thing to show that. And the other one was that, and this is something completely went over my head because I was like, whoa, this is amazing. The lady villain, like, she's like a kick-ass lady villain. She beat up the other person of color, like another, other colored person. She like, really beat him up to like a pulp. The whole time I was like, yay! Like, lady power. Then someone pointed out that, well, that's not right either. But then I'm like, well, the story's not finished. Like, you don't know how it's gonna end. You don't know what
Right.
happen out of it. And the thing is, like, the whole I just don't subscribe to this idea of, like, women should not be shown to be tortured or anything, or like people of color cannot be shown to be in a distressful situation, because that's like then you're kind of creating this other narrative of like, oh, everything has to be hunky-dory. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's your thought on that. Like, I feel like done right, it should be done. I just don't want, like, I don't understand. I don't like the idea of like, oh, a woman being tortured just for a man to be motivated, because that's a shitty thing. But if a woman being tortured because on her own thing, because Black Widow gets into all kinds of troubles all the time and get tortured by, but I'm like, how is that different than Batman being tortured? Like, I just don't understand that.
I think I need to see it so I can really give my view, because it's always a tricky situation because it really just depends on what it is.
Yeah.
Because I do agree that there's a lot of media right now, and the struggle we've had a lot, especially with shows like Game of Thrones and other HBO shows or whatever media, right, is that sometimes it's done to an excess, or it's done in a way that's not okay, right? So, like the use of rape all the time, with so much media, is not okay. Like there's an excess that is not needed. It doesn't add to the story. Whereas in certain circumstances, it makes sense for the story. But like, there's just a different way to do a lot of these things. And so it's a case by case, right? Because you don't want to be a situation where it's like, well, we don't ever want people of color to be villains. Like, well, no, I want equal standing for everybody.
Right.
I want my female villains. I want my trans villains. I want my everybody villains. Like, I want everyone should have an equal chance to be evil and the worst, but also just to be great and best. Or boring. I just want all of the options for everyone. So, it just really, it depends. And I don't think any media is less because it doesn't do those things. I don't think every media needs to be like the torch carrier for that either. But it's just a struggle, and it depends. It's case by case. Like, I don't know. But now I'm interested to see it and see what I think about it.
Yeah, please do, because I don't want, like, the reason, like, people are like, oh wow, you don't want women to be struggle. I'm like, no, I don't want women to be only struggling. One threat to a woman is like being raped or sexually assaulted.
Right.
No,
or
that should not be.
Way.
Yeah, they cannot, but the thing is, like, bind up Black Widow and beat her up so that let's see how she can get herself out of that situation and beat up your ass, because that's what Daredevil seemed to be doing. That's what, like, like all the other characters seem to be doing. So why not for the same for that? But I don't know, like, at the same time, I'm like, I want it to be like, I don't know why this is becoming a new thing, and especially with Tumblr people, like, what's this, why this is a thing, like, oh, this cannot be happening to people of color for women.
There's a lot of instances now where they take certain narratives or literature or media as like representations of real world. And there are circumstances where I feel like things do go too far, like I talked about. But sometimes you have to recognize that this is a story and that there's going to be awful things that happen. And it doesn't mean that liking the series condones it. It's the same way we talked about, being fans of certain villains or cosplaying villains, or it doesn't mean that you condone what they do. You like the characterization, you like the story built up. There's a ton of really awful, awful people, but I love their stories. I love the characters. It doesn't mean that I like agree with what all they do. So I love reading about serial killers. I love talking about serial killers. I don't like them. Like, I don't approve of what they did.
Yeah.
But I love crime, murder, like shows or books or fiction. I love that stuff. Again, doesn't mean that's what I like. Yeah, let's do. No, there's a separation. There needs to be a separation.
Yeah,
right.
That. Like, it's.
But I don't know whether a lot of that comes with age, though, or like the more maturity and stuff. And I feel like these Tumblr people just don't have that. I don't even know why.
I do think partly it's that.
I should stop. I just don't know any other place where I can go and look at Chris Evans. Hey, there you go. 1 hour, 19 minutes. But I I just don't know. I don't know. It really bothered me.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of thinking about, is it because my blind devotion to Warren Ellis that I'm not seeing it, or what is it? That's the kind of like the reason I bring it up, because I love Warren.
I say Chris and I should watch it, and then once we've both seen it, we'll talk about the show.
We'll have a rant.
Yeah, please come back and let me know, because I don't want to become one of those, like, rabid fan person that is like, I don't do Christian. Although, yeah, but but anyway, all right, that's all I have to say.
All right,
awesome.
Well, thank you guys. We're gonna end a little bit earlier today than usual, but we'll be back to our real long rants about things next week.
Yes.
So thank you guys, and please don't forget, on Tuesday, Giant Days Volume 1 will be 50% off. The hardcover will be 50% off. So this is a great chance for you to get a copy for yourself or get it for a friend. I think it's a great gift for all ages. I mean, it's especially if you have a college person in your life. Please, I'll be giving it to my niece. So yeah, and let us know what you end up getting next week. If you want to come back on this video again later and tell us what awesome gifts you're going to get or Black Friday deals, let us know. We'll comment back after. But yeah, thank you guys, and we'll see you next week. And check out In-Stock Trades,
where you can buy all your collected editions for 42% or higher, and free shipping, $50 and above.
And the best packaging ever.
Best packaging.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. And also Emily rules.
Emily's the best. We love you.
All right. Good night.
Bye, guys.